Hello again, this is Lisa with Paparazzi. I'm going to show you how to use the event worksheet that I use to organize my information. I have it all on a page cover. I even put my leads in there. It just makes it so much easier to keep everything together. So let me pull it out. These are my papers for my event. I showed you before in my party video how I write on the back of them every time they buy something. So when this customer buys an item, this person didn't want to fill out their paper, but when this customer buys an item, I of course write down what they bought. See, this person got 2 things, this person got 1 thing. They bought 1 headband. That needs to say 1 equals 525, but you get the idea. I write the amount on the back. Somebody helped me with this event, but I typically write it like this. If it wasn't the customer, which I just remember this one, but if it's not the customer, I put a square around it so that I know it's somebody else. This one is the person on the back of the paper. So if I want to email them and say, hey, remember when you bought the jewelry from the event? It was so much fun. You should come look at more stuff, or whatever. I could even send them a receipt. This is your receipt for buying jewelry from Hotsy Totsy Paparazzi for $20. Please let me know if you'd like to see anything else, you know, whatever you want to do. So that's basically what I do, is I write on the back of them. I shared this event with somebody, that's why there's names all over them. Anyway, so I get my pile and I keep it with the event. Let me show you, I just reorganized all my stuff, so this isn't filled out, but I'll show you how I would fill it out. That particular thing that I did was like a festival kind of deal. I only circle fundraiser if I charge fundraiser price, or that's it, if I charge fundraiser price, because I do all my fundraisers the same, where I charge $6 and donate $2, and that way I can keep track of the income a little differently and make sure that I've recorded if I donated any money. So when you do an event, I would do an event worksheet even for prospective events. It doesn't even mean that it's going to happen, because there's some information on here that's really going to help you in planning your event and deciding if you want to go through with it. First thing you want to do is get the date, the times, and the event name. That's how you're going to keep track of it forever. The date is the most important thing, because that's your availability, basically. So you want to get the date of the event. Let's say you hear that there's a craft expo at the high school in the spring. So you look up the high school website, you call the PTA president, you find out when it is, and write that thing down and write the name of it. And of course the times are important, because if it's a day event, you can do a party at night. So get the information that you can. When you're looking up the event, like let's say you're doing a high school craft fair, you would contact you know, the PTA president, then you would write down their phone number and their email here, because that's going to be new information for you. You'll have it all in one place on the same paper. And then like next year, if you want to do it again, you can refer to this and call them the next year. Find out the location of the event and the directions. Again, you need to figure out how to get to where you're going. If it's downtown and traffic's going to be crazy, you need to know that it's downtown before the day of the event. I've done that before. It makes it much more difficult. Okay, here's your list. This is just like the party worksheet, okay? And these things are important. I tried to think of everything that needs to be done. I mean, you could do a million things, but these are the pertinent things that you need to do. First thing you want to do is go through and fill out the dates. It tells you here what you need to do, like what the dates need to be. So let's say I found out about this event in May, on May 1st. Right here, I write May 1st, because that is when you're going to gather the critical information. And we'll talk about that in a second. Send application immediately, 3 weeks before, 2 weeks before. So once I know the date, I can go in and fill these, you know, June 20th, July 1st, you know, anyway. So what you want to do when you call them, very first off, when you call them on May 1st, when you found out that this event exists, you need to find out the cost of the event. Let's say this little craft fair at the high school is $30. The year of the show, they've been doing it forever. It's like the 20th year. Number of people expected. Sometimes I'll never even tell you. But you could probably guess that if it's a high school thing, it's going to be low. But $30, it's okay if it's low. The size of the booth, you know, they might just tell you get one table. What size is the table? You make sure you ask them. Let's say they tell you it's 6 feet long. A lot of this stuff also is really important in gigantic events, you know. Let's say I did a women's expo, okay? $900 for a booth. The year of the show, the first year, I should have known that was a bad idea. But I didn't know that. Number of expected people, they said 3,000. The size of the booth was a 10 by 10. This stuff is critical because it's so expensive. It's very important. I would never do this. I realized that was a big mistake because the first year of an event is too big of a risk when you are first starting your business. So just so you know. But this is some of the information. If you need help evaluating an event, call me. I've done all sizes of events, so I might be able to help you guess if it's going to be any good. So gather that information, decide if you're going to do it. Then you know. And you'll have this on record forever. So, like, let's say you get a new person on your team and they call you, oh, I'm going to do the high school craft fair. It sounds so awesome. You could say, you know what? Last year I sold one thing. You might not want to waste your time. Or it could be the polar opposite. And you just say, hey, I signed up already. Don't even call them. Sorry. Whatever you need to do. Okay, the next thing you need to do is send the application and deposit immediately. If it's too early to send an application, let's say I'm calling about a Christmas thing in May, they may say we don't take applications till September 1st. So that's why you would want to write a date here. If it's different from your the date you find out about it. But you want to send the application right away so that you can be the first one. In doing this, when you send the application or when you call them and find out, I'm going to add this, you need to find out if there's a paparazzi person already. You're only allowed one paparazzi person per event. Why would you want to compete with your peers? That's a bad idea. So I'm going to add that to this list. So you do want to find out and make sure there's not a paparazzi person already. The next thing you can do is confirm your appointment, you know, your booth, and pay the final fee. You have to confirm. Usually you'll get an email from them, so it's no big deal. But I've had people who went to events and they call the lady and they're like, oh, we canceled it. Sorry. It's just sad. So we don't want anything flaky happening. So to make sure you call and confirm your booth, pay the final fee if you owe any more money, do all that thing that's required for you to have a smooth day on the day of your event. Next thing you want to do, utilize Facebook. Post on Facebook that you're going to be there. Put it on your fan page because there are women who will go shop around to all of your events. They want to see all of your new stuff. And then you want to repost it on Facebook the day of. I have in the past put little coupons online. So I'd take a picture on my booth and I'd say, hey, I'm here today. If you come and tell me you saw my post on Facebook, I'll do buy one, get one free. Or if you bring a friend, I'll give you something free. You know, something appealing to make them want to come and see you. And then, after the event's over, post your results on Facebook. People want to see your progress. People want to see how you're doing. Even if you don't do awesome, it's nice to make it just kind of real instead of, you know, fluffed up and perfect, because nobody is perfect. So it's kind of fun to post how it went. People like to know. So those are the things that you need to do with your event. And of course you need to, you know, record all this information and put it in your books. But that's all you need to do with this list. Down here, special notes, it might say, you know, one item donated, donation required. Or they might say tent, you know, outside event. Or it could be anything, you know. Show up 1 hour early. You know, whatever their special requirements are. Then you want to write down if you got leads. I like to write down how many people said they want a party and how many parties I actually got. You know, you have to figure that out later. Consultants versus actual consultants. So you would want to write how many leads you got, how many people were interested in parties, how many people were interested in being a consultant. And then 3 or 4 weeks down the road, you can write down how many actually did it. And then the pieces sold and the profit, just like on the parties worksheet that I have. The reason you want to write down all this information down here is you want to find out if it's worth your time next year to do it. Or, maybe it was way busier than you expected, and you can share this event with 2 or 3 people, and make it a lot more fun and a lot more profitable. Get a double booth, whatever you think is going to work for your group. So there is the event worksheet. And then remember to put this all together in the pile in here and put it in your notebook. And then you can have all your events together and you can go from there. One other thing you can do is you could keep like the flyer from the event in here, like the application, copy of the application. Keep it all together. It's really, really useful to use these page covers. And hopefully that'll help you out.